Hi, and welcome to Frag Vision. Today we're looking at one of the most controversial areas of our industry, namely high-frequency trading, or HFT. And it certainly does polarize opinion. On the one hand, some people say these guys are little more than the financial equivalent of ticket scalpers at a rock concert, whilst others say no, actually it's just a natural evolution of markets, regulation and technology. Well, let's start with some facts. Firstly, despite the controversy, there is no agreed definition of what HFT really is. Although most people agree, it does involve putting large numbers of orders into markets, trying to make very small profits on these trades, and not taking positions overnight. Second, if you're using computers to break the rules, abuse markets, however fast you're doing that, that isn't HFT, that's just breaking the law. And finally, HFT is such a huge part of global liquidity, you simply can't afford to ignore it. One of the things that this has meant is that the HFT guys have produced their own position papers on this subject. They claim that they're simply an extension of the traditional market maker activity, and that by being prepared to be buyers when no one's sellers and vice versa, they're actually increasing liquidity, reducing risk and reducing the friction in markets. And crucially, they say that it's their money at risk. But of course it isn't as simple as all that. People say that the HFT guys have some sort of unfair advantage because of the technology they use. They're not always obliged to make two-sided quotes in markets, and there's also some rumours about quote stuffing where they try and deliberately slow down computers in order to divine other people's trading strategies. And of course, what happens when the technology goes wrong, as that can severely dislocate markets. Thank you. In their defence, the HFT guys say that it's a level playing field for everyone, that actually they are obliged to make two-way quotes, particularly if they're designated market makers, and of course that they support the idea of circuit breakers to manage any mishaps with their technology. So how do you decide? Well, for me, the acid test is all about how the investment management community interacts with the HFT guys. Some say they simply don't care as long as they can get their orders filled, whilst others say they actually encounter a wall of HFT noise which gets in the way of them executing their trading strategies. And of course, in the middle of all of this are the regulators who simply can't introduce new laws fast enough. So without some form of high-frequency regulation, it looks like HFT is absolutely here to stay.